Do you want to travel more and spend less in 2025? Me too. These travel hacks will possibly save you hundreds, and if you stay till the end, I'll show you how I apply them to a top luxury destination. And I think the top one has to be flexibility with flights. Midweek can often be cheaper, but not always, especially to business destinations, because nobody's travelling business at the weekend. I use Google Flights mercilessly. For example, if you look at this one that's up now, it shows how I found flights to Stockholm for £30 return. It's a no-brainer. But once you've got your flight, bang it into a travel agent or booking agent like Expedia, because you can convert it into a package and still get the atoll cover. Boom. There are other advantages that I'll talk about later. The next one up is Travel Light. I've managed week-long trips with just a personal item. This bag, you can pick it up on Amazon by Norway. It fits all the requirements of the budget airlines. It cost me 12 quid nearly 2 years ago. I travel a lot during the week because I work away from home, so that's the same bag I used to go home with. That bag has been used, I would say, on 130 trips. But all it's got to do is fit under the seat in front. Now, because it's soft and flexible, I think it's better than a rucksack that's got a little bit of framing in it. But that's personal choice. When I went to Canada for a week, I got most of my stuff in there. And the other thing you can do is, even if you don't think you're going to need a coat, well, you're not packing it where it's got pockets. I put my battery chargers in there, put my umbrella in there, bang. But going back to the cheap flight thing, once you know the cheapest flight for your trip and you've banged it into something like Expedia or Booking.com, especially if it's slightly longer haul, you often get a baggage entitlement included. If you do, I've got another carry-on that, to be honest, it's big enough for two of us to share, and that still does enough. You don't really need that much, especially on a short break. But the other thing I do is, I love wearing this jumper because it's handy for cool summer evenings. I wear that on the flight. As soon as I get off onto the plane, I take it off and use it as a pillow. Bang. Keeps it fresh. And there's nothing wrong with doing a bit of laundry while you're away. One of the biggest expenses is accommodation, and there's no real way of getting around that unless you're going to do an extreme day trip. So what you need to do is you need to get onto Google Maps once you've got a few options and see the location. Ideally, if you're planning on seeing a lot of sites, it needs to be close to a metro, bus stop, or have a car park if you're hiring a car. But get this one wrong and you will be suffering. For example, on a recent trip, my hotel was city centre. I had an early flight. We had to get a taxi. It wasn't too bad because there was three of us. It didn't actually work out that expensive, but it can do. See, when I went to Japan, the hotel was right next door to a metro station. It was in a cheaper part of town, so we weren't staying in somewhere like Shinjuku, but it was only a metro ride away. But it was walking distance from Asakusa, Tokyo Skytree, Ryogoku, best of both worlds. We got a decent sized room without paying the premium. And this brings me on to my next point. Local transport. Do your research first. For example, the first thing you get offered when you book a holiday is transfers, and some of them can be €50, $60, £30, whatever. You need to find out how much it's going to cost you to get from the airport to the hotel. That's the big one. For example, in Stockholm, the Arlanda Express is €24 each. The local bus, I think it works out as about €5, something ridiculous, but it's also covered by the weekend-long bus pass, but it does take you longer to get into the city. However, if you do your research, and there's three of you, it's cheaper to get a taxi than it is to get the Arlanda Express. I've just come back from Athens, did my research, I found out that a €20 pass covers 72 hours, which was exactly the amount of time I was there, and that included the train from the airport to the city centre. So we did all our travelling over a weekend for €20. Similar story in Bilbao. So do your research, because it can bite you the other way. For example, in Tokyo, they're all telling you about luggage transfer and everything else. We just got on a local train with our bags, no problem. The other one is eat like a local, but I think they'd moan if you turned up in their house and demanded their wife cooked for you. I might try that one though. But it can eat a lot of your budget. Again, watch YouTube, get some ideas. Paris, everyone said, oh, the food is so expensive. We were doing the basic breakfast, coffee, croissant and an orange juice for about €5. The traditional French destination used by millions every day, McDonald's. In a lot of places, 7-Eleven works really well. Tokyo, I found the best breakfast we had was in 7-Eleven. Onigiri and a couple of snacks, and we're talking a couple of quid. But do get a breakfast. Now, one tip I hear a lot is go for your finest dining experience at lunchtime because they're all offering special deals. I tend to like to make an event of my evening meal and eat at night. So recently in Athens, we came across a guy trying to get us, a tout trying to get us into our restaurant during the day. We didn't fancy a big meal at lunchtime, took his card, checked out his menu, made sure we went back there that evening. Had a fantastic time. It was slightly off the beaten track, it was still an amazing experience with a view of the Acropolis. In Paris, Montmartre, amazing food. Just off Montmartre, there's some lovely little restaurants. They're desperate for your trade. They're good quality. We found an amazing one called Le Bart's. If you go to my videos, you'll see I made one about it. Now let's wrap this up, and that's how you make 2025 your most adventurous and affordable year yet. Now, just before I came on to make this, I had a quick look at Dubai. I bet you're thinking, what's he playing at? This guy normally talks about cheap destinations. Why Dubai? Well, to be honest, I had a look on Google Flights. I wanted to pick somewhere that summed up luxury, expense, so I just laughingly put Dubai in. And it came up with flights from as low as £307 return. That's absolutely ridiculous. So I do what I normally do, bang it into Expedia, and let's tell you a story. Well, you've put in London to Dubai, 9th of May to the 16th of May. Let's face it, doesn't matter what time you put down there, it's going to be hot. Let's see what it comes up with. Well, the first set of choices ain't too great, are they? But, me being me, let's pick a location, the Burj Khalifa, and bang in the cheapest as well. Sort by cheapest. Hell yeah. Shut your mouth, £365, quarter of a mile from the Burj. Now, when I was doing the research for this, I checked out the transport, as per my advice earlier, and yeah, you can get a taxi in from £15. The metro's about £2. So we've come up with Premier Inn Dubai Airport. I thought that would be convenient. It's a name we've heard of. It's got a pool, because let's face it, although I've said you pick a hotel just because it's somewhere to sleep, over there you want a pool because you're probably going to want to sit by it during the day. But the airport's a bit of a way out. Let's see what else there is down there. But that was below £400. Shut up. QE2, Queen Elizabeth II, the pinnacle of maritime luxury. Yeah. Is that just a hotel next to it? Well, first picture shows it on a balcony. Yep, that looks like the QE2 to me. That looks like a stateroom type room. Yep, portholes. You wouldn't build portholes on a normal hotel, would you? I've done my research since. It is actually the boat. Let's see what sort of rooms they've got. That's the real deal. You can see the Burj. Standard classic room from no upgrade, double room. I think to get a twin room you'd have to go, I think it's an extra £12. You've got family rooms, you've got all sorts. I'm going to be honest with you, this is appealing to me. £412 to stay on the QE2 for a week in Dubai. I mean, who's not going to do that? Now let's see what the catch is. We're going to the flights. Yep, that's 412, flying with Pegasus Airlines. It's an 8-hour flight direct, so it's only an hour and a half. Stopover, that's acceptable. Oh, hang on. Carry-on not included, that's personal item only. Which you could manage in a warm country, but let's see something where you can take an extra bag, because you're going to want to take some outfits, aren't you? Royal Jordanian, unfortunately it's got a stop, and it does push the price up by £76 each. Just double check that includes baggage. Yep, you can have a carry-on and a check bag. That means you can take multiple outfits. But don't forget, you're only going for a week. And coming back, oh, it is a different airline by the look of it. Royal Brunei for an extra 40. Ooh, let's get a bit steeper. But that is direct. I think we're looking at A-Jet, to be honest, because that's only an extra 26. What does that include? Only includes a carry-on. But to be honest, a week with a personal item and a carry-on ain't bad. But that is going to push that ridiculously low price up by another £100 each. You're still talking just over £500 to go to Dubai. I mean, shut your mouth. Yeah, you might just find I'm doing a programme on going to Dubai fairly soon. I've always fancied the cruise, but not really fancied the being stuck on a ship at sea for days and stuff. But this way you're going to be on a luxury cruise ship. Let's face it, people used to pay £4 to go on the QE2. And you're going to be in the centre of luxury in Dubai. I mean, for me, it's going to go to my collection of towers. I've done the Skytree, I've done the Toronto Tower, I've done plenty of towers. So there you have it. There are options. You've got the tips, you put them to work, and you can bang yourself a banger. If you like what you see, come back and we'll talk about it some more. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a great new year.